The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of RMCOnAir.com or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
How's everyone doing tonight? This is Pierre Daniel, the historian here, and definitely want to say certainly miss Sonny, and of course Smitty, for sure. Smitty a great deal to one, and definitely want to throw a shout out as well to Sun Lady, definitely sure as well. But in the studio, definitely miss you guys, man. I mean, Sonny, Smitty, and Dwan, definitely get back soon, man, because it's tough to try to hold this down by myself, but I'm going to do the best that I can. Of course, with the main man here, Bubba, we're going to go ahead and do what we can and try to, hold down the fort. There's a lot of topics we can start on tonight, a lot of topics we can definitely go over, but I guess I'll first start out with the college football season, bowling season is right around the corner. And our two local teams here, UCLA and USC, both of them made bowls this season. If I had to grade both teams, the Trojans, I'd probably give them maybe about a C+. They had certainly some losses that they shouldn't have had, and they lost to UCLA again 3 years in a row. For Trojan fans, I know that's unacceptable. There was a lot of issues with Sark and his with the offense that he's running, and also just with the program and in general. I don't know if he's the right man for the job, but they're going to give him a couple more years to see. I know they're still under sanctioned scholarship restrictions behind the Pete Carroll era and the Reggie Bush situation and all of that, but they'll be coming out of that within the next year or two, and USC fans definitely are looking for improvement there. But they are going to the Holiday Bowl against Nebraska, so we'll see how that turns out. And then for the UCLA Bruins, Jim Mora, he's the one who's running the show there. Definitely not impressed. I mean, it's a little bit of an upgrade from Rick Neuheisel's running the program, but I definitely expected a lot more out of him. He's winning games that they're supposed to win, and certainly games that are pivotal for the program to really get to the elite status. They're certainly losing those games, like loss against Utah, a blowout loss against Oregon. Both those games at the Rose Bowl, and then of course the Stanford game. Very disappointed with that. I mean, that really hurt. I mean, the Stanford game from there would have made it to the Pac-12 championship. Who knows what would happen there? So. If I had to give the Bruins a grade, I would actually give them maybe about maybe a B-, B-, because again, I mean, it's still second tier bowl, Alamo Bowl, definitely nothing to really shout about, and I just don't know which direction the program's going in. Some say it's improving, but I don't know. I still say the Bruins have a lot to be desired, and we'll see what happens in the future. They're always trying to, other programs and teams are trying to get Jim Mora away. I'd say he's one of the best coaches in the country, so they're constantly trying to lure him away to get other jobs around the country, like the Michigan job, among others. But that's for college football. And switching over to the pro game. Well, New England looks pretty good. I'd see the Cowboys pulled out a win over the weekend, where they certainly looked like they were. They jumped out to a big lead. Then from there, Philadelphia came storming back, and then they squeaked out a victory, on the road. So they look like, but at the same token, we saw the running back Murray probably wasn't going to hold up for the whole season, and sure enough, that's what happened. He hurt his hand, but we'll see. I think he's going to play anyway this week, but I don't know how effective he will be. And of course, we know about Mr. Romo himself, the quarterback. He's one hit from he's one hit from during his career, let's know, the season. But the boys, nevertheless, it's in first place in the East, and looks like they might make the playoffs. But they're 10-4, so they're in good position right now. But we'll see. We're talking about the Cowboys, so you never know how that's gonna turn out. The other teams looking pretty good. I mean, Cincinnati's have a nice season. They're in first place right now. Then, of course, New England, they're looking pretty, they're looking pretty good right now. But it's still, and of course, Seattle. There's a lot of football that you play. There's only a couple of weeks left, but a lot of jockeying for position. And then, of course, you had the South, which was there. I mean, you have whoever wins that division is going to probably have a losing record. Well, we'll probably have a losing record. And that's really a shame, but those are the rules of the NFL. So that's the way they play it out. But once they get to the playoffs, you never know. I mean, Seattle a few years ago had a losing record, and they actually won a playoff game, with the losing record. So you never know how it's gonna pan out. So a lot to be desired there.
Who's going to be in the Super Bowl?
Oh, okay. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl? That's a good question. Boy, I would say right now, probably the favorites are probably. I would probably have to go with Arizona's going with a third-string quarterback, Lindy, who actually played at San Diego State years ago, and he's getting this shot with the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals, record-wise, they look good right now, but I would have to go with Seattle coming out to NFC, and probably New England, the AFC. Probably do. I'm not sold on Denver. Mm-hmm. Just not sold on Denver. Manning's having another solid season, but that defense kind of questionable. Running attack, is definitely up and down. There's not really some solid right there. So I'm kind of not really sold on Denver. So I guess by default, in the Colts, not even Colts. So I probably New England, Seattle.
MVP.
I might have to go with J.J. Watt from the Texans. I don't know. I mean, he's looking really good. I mean, some people are looking at Manning again. Some people are looking at Brady.
Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know about Rodgers. No, I don't know about Rodgers. He had a bad game last game he played. I'm really not sold on Rodgers being the MVP. They better watch. They might make the playoffs, So, no, I'm not really sold on Rodgers. But I might go to J.J. Watt. I know he's a long shot on the defensive end, but he's had a stellar season, thus far. And I don't know if they like to give the losing, player on a losing team. Mm-hmm. But for me, it might go with him, or maybe, like I say, maybe Brady, maybe Brady. And Wilson. I don't know about Wilson for Seattle. No, yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, you're right. But but he'll get a few votes, but he won't. Yeah, you're right about that. So that's the way it's looking in NFL right now. But a lot of football to be played. The season is winding down, and definitely looking forward to the playoffs. Switching gears to Major League Baseball, Matt Kemp, one of the fan favorites for Los Angeles for the Dodgers, he's actually been traded to the San Diego Padres, and well, hold on now. He's definitely a fan favorite. I mean, he's been there for years, the anchor of the team, basically. Besides Kershaw, but the Padres found out that he had a lot of health issues, more than what the Dodgers actually let on. So they didn't know if the deal was going to go through, but they made it official. So Kemp is played with the Padres now. But the Padres might have a decent team, when he fields a team in April. Maybe late March, early April when the season starts. I think he's going to actually help out. We know defensively he's a liability, but on the offensive end, I think he will certainly, give that team some power, in the batting lineup. So that's pretty much about it from the baseball front. And now I guess we can talk about the NBA. Let's start out with the Clippers. Let's start with them. Clippers are having a nice season this year. But record-wise, they look pretty good in a very tough Western Conference. However, their record against 500 teams and above, I think something like 2-6 or something of that nature, close to it. They're beating teams they're supposed to beat. So sub 500 teams, it's something like 16-2 or something like that, or some of that nature. So they're very strong against sub 500 teams. But once you get to the playoffs, that's when it really counts. And they really haven't done well against 500 teams and above. Like Bubba said in the past, what have the Clippers done in L.A.? They're definitely our best bet, because that other team down the hall, we'll talk about them in a bit. I can't see them even scratching the playoffs for another several years. Forget about this year.
Would you put money on it that the Clippers would win a championship before the Lakers? Are you really sold on that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I do no problem with that. No problem with that. As a matter of fact, the Clippers they definitely need some improvement. I mean, I know Matt Barnes is a liability. I mean, I like Matt Barnes personally, but at the same token, as a coach and for a teammate, I think the Clippers can upgrade there. Certainly some more firepower off the bench. They're even talking about shopping Jamal Crawford. They're saying that he has some value. He's definitely one of the marketable players, and they could go ahead and chop him and try to get more firepower off the bench, or another three to take over from Matt Barnes. I could see that. DeAndre Jordan, he's playing well. He's playing well. We know your bookends, Blake and of course Chris Paul. Yeah. They're having a nice season, but again, we're talking about the regular season. Right. And that the Clippers are now going to, the bar is higher. They're going to be judged by what they do in the playoffs. They've been to the playoffs the last several years. That's really not a big issue right now. We're talking about how deep and how far can they go in the playoffs, and that's really a big question mark, especially considering teams like Golden State that are playing great right now. Although Andrew Bogut, he just went down, and we don't know.
That's the case every year, though.
Well, yeah. I could definitely see them, rebounding from him, but he still helps out in terms of anchoring that defense, crashing the boards, and this, that, and the other. And eventually, that might wear on them down the stretch, especially in the playoffs. Then you're looking at the Memphis Grizzlies. That's the team that I'm really looking at.
They lost today? To the Bulls?
Right. However, for the season, I think they look very strong. If they stay healthy, they might be the team to beat. I mean, the Houston Rockets look good. You got OKC when Durant is healthy. That team right there is a team to be reckoned with. Let's not forget about the Portland Trailblazers. I mean, they have a very it's a very nice team. So you have a lot of teams out out in the West that are very strong, and whoever comes out the West will probably end up winning the championship. Toronto's holding down the fort in the East, but I can see in the playoffs some other teams might catch them. So far the Clippers, so far so good, but the same token, the true test comes the playoffs, and they really don't start focusing on basketball until after Christmas anyway. So we'll see how the Clippers hold up. We know you have a lot of players, have a lot of injuries over the years, like Jamal Crawford, and we know Chris Paul's constantly hurt. We know about Blake Griffin with his back and his knee and blah 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 blah. So we'll see how it goes. We're gonna go ahead and take a break right now, and we'll be back in a bit. Thank you.
What's your style? Curly, straight, wavy, or maybe you like it natural? Introducing Secret Styling Hair Care Products by Smith Products Company, LLC. A complete line of hair moisturizers, shampoos, conditioners, and an assortment of other hair styling aids formulated for today's fashion-conscious consumer. Enhance your style. Get the secret.
Are you a diabetic? Need some energy? Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink is the healthiest, best-tasting energy drink around. For more information and online ordering with free shipping, please visit hiphopbev.com. Remember, Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, suitable for diabetics, great for everyone.
All right, we're back. Yeah, I guess we are in Los Angeles, and this is supposed to be a Laker town. So let's let's get right to it. Certainly, I'm not, all the remarks and comments and things I say, it's not like I have any ill will towards the Lakers at all. I'm just trying to be very objective in my point of view and comments that I make. We can, any number of ways we can go at it, but let's go ahead and start. I guess we can start out with Kobe Bryant taking over the number 3 spot in the NBA all-time scoring list. Some people give him a ton of credit for that. I'm certainly not one. I think that Kobe's, he has the dubious distinction of missing more shots than anyone in NBA history, taking more shots than anyone in NBA history. I mean, just think about that. All the players throughout the years since the NBA came into existence with 1946, 47, I think it was maybe 47. Out of all those players, he's the one who took more shots and is continuing as we speak. I don't know what he's going today. He's probably something like 2 for 20, and he's probably 2 for 20. Slight exaggeration, probably. But I'm sure it's well under 50%. I mean, for someone to take as many shots, for him to dominate the ball as he has, and you look at the greats like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Karl Malone, and of course the great Michael Jordan. If they were really interested in those types of statistics, I mean, they would have put those records out of sight. I mean, Kobe to do what he's done, I'm really not impressed by that.
Kobe's
by that at all.
He's not 2 for 20 today.
What is he?
He's 2 for 10.
I'm sorry about that. 2 for 10. Okay. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. He the other day, not the Minnesota game when he got in the 3rd place, but I think the game after that was against Indiana. I think he went something like 8 for 27 or 8 for 26, or some atrocious shooting. I'm saying to myself, I don't see how people can't see that man takes away from the team so much. I mean, he's definitely would be addition by subtraction. You look at him throughout his career, I know he's been on championship teams, but if you look at all the things that he's done and all the championships they probably would have won without him, and I'm looking at the Detroit championship that they lost in 5 games to Detroit. I mean, how horrible he played in that. So many playoff games, he was atrocious. And I know that they, the Boston championship, I think it was the last one they won, if Ron Artest wouldn't have bailed him out time and time again, he was shooting so poorly that game, he stopped shooting the ball. He decided to start passing the ball because he knew he was shooting so bad and he was shooting so poorly, he was just killing the team. He's done that time, the Orlando championship that they won, the one against Orlando. Cats like Trevor Ariza and Derek Fisher and Paul Gasol. I mean, you're on and on about these players just constantly bailing this man out. And everywhere you turn, he gets a pass about, it's okay for Kobe to do it. It's all right for Kobe to do it. Kobe, this, that, and the other. I mean, if you analyze that man's game, and you see the way how much of a black hole he is on the team, you would definitely see that he's hurt that team so much throughout the years. As a matter of fact, one of my friends gave me 2 tickets to the to win the Laker games is sitting in the luxury suite. I asked him, I said, is Kobe playing tonight? He said, oh, definitely. I said, well, you can keep those tickets, man. I said, I don't want to see any more bad basketball.
Oh, so you could have taken those tickets and given them to a family member or something?
Oh, you know what? That's possible. I could have done that. But you know, so tired of seeing him with such a poor play. I just say, you know what? You can keep those tickets, man. If Kobe Bryant's not playing, I'll go. But if Kobe's playing, you can have him. You can keep him. You know, I can go on and on about what he's done to ruin the franchise and ruin the organization, and it's simply because he's in third place the scoring list. That's really not to me not really impressive, because like I said, you know, for someone to take as many shots that he has, and all he's done, he really should be in number one. You know, I mean, he definitely should be. You know, and I know he's not going to catch Kareem, and I'm sure he's not going to catch Karl Malone. So, you know, he's probably going to be locked into where he is right now, and with the team sliding like it is, I'd say that initially on our show that. What I would have done was attempted to trade Kobe Bryant. I know he has no trade clause, but there's a way they can, you know, they can convince Kobe to take a trade if absolutely necessary. I mean, we see how he's playing. We see how the team is playing now. So yeah, I mean, and the Lakers are in horrible shape. I mean, you're looking at Byron Scott. We know that. Said he's not the right man for the job, and we actually see that's probably the case. Mitch Kupchak, all the poor moves they've made. You know, I know they went after Rondo just recently, and they didn't get him either. I mean, and again, this has happened over a period of years. It's not just this year. You know, so the Lakers definitely need to restructure, reorganization of that entire organization, starting from the top down. Like I said, get rid of Mitch Kupchak, get rid of Byron Scott, try to get some value for Kobe if you can, you know, and then start out with some draft picks, and then start, you know, moving forward. Laker fans deserve more. This is a very proud franchise, rich in history, all the championship years, and to see the organization playing like it's playing is outright deplorable. You know, I don't see how Laker fans even standing for it, you know. But and I don't know what they're doing tonight. But you say, okay, well, the Lakers won eight games this season. What are you talking about? Well, first of all, that's horrible by Lakers standards. And second of all, almost every game that they've won, you look at a star player was there. I know they beat Toronto. This star wasn't there.
DeRozan?
DeMar DeRozan, right. He didn't play that game. They beat Houston earlier this season. We know Dwight Howard. He wasn't playing. Tonight, we know that Kevin Durant, he's not playing. Who did they play the other day that wasn't playing? Let me see. They beat Detroit.
Spurs.
They beat Detroit, and of course the Spurs sat down. Somebody sat down half of their starters. You know, so that's another win. There were a couple other wins that they had with players. The best player wasn't out there. So, you know, when you look at those wins, those certainly wins are very questionable. Then Byron Scott started talking about he don't believe in shooting threes. Then all of a sudden the team's going three crazy, shooting threes all over the place. You know, then he's talking about he's the defensive man. You know, I remember all those games watching him sit next to James Worthy, and they're talking about how atrocious the Lakers were last year. He said if he got that job, there's no way in the world the Lakers play like that. Yeah. And they're even worse than what they were last year. Even worse. I'm saying to myself, man, how can they even consider that man for the job? To definitely hold on to him like he's holding on to him. Maybe he'll last to the end of the season, but if I'm in a decision-making position, there's definitely no way. You know, I don't see how Laker fans can tolerate watching such subpar basketball. They need to go ahead and watch the Clippers or watch some other teams. Or maybe they're just watching the Lakers to watch who they're playing against. Because you ask the Laker fans, it's going to be not only a long season this year, it's probably going to be like that for years to come, you know. And that's just the way it is right now. Do you have any comments there, Bruno?
No. I'm going to let you bash the Lakers alone.
Bash the Lakers? Well, all you have to do is look at the standings, you know, and definitely look at how the team is and look at how the team is playing. You know, I know they had a few injuries here and there, but injuries are par for the course. Every team has to deal with that. Every team has to deal with that at some point, you know, sometime or another. It's, whether you're a championship team or a last place team, injuries are part of the game. So there's definitely no excuses. You know, no excuses there. You know, and we know Byron Scott says he don't have the right personnel to run his system and run his offense and defense and this, that, and the other. That's just another excuse, man. I mean, shoot, Byron Scott, I think last I checked, he lost something like 26 games in a row for Cleveland. That's the last job he had. Yeah. They ran him out of New Orleans. They ran him out of New Jersey. You know, and so this is like his fourth stop. You know, so if he was that great of a coach, he probably would still be with the Cavaliers. So again, you know, definitely not sold there. And finally, you know, some heat has started to come down on Mitch Kupchak. We're talking about the players that they're putting out there, that they're not really satisfied with that as well. And I don't know if the Lakers are really going full. I think they're trying to hold back a lot of the salary, you know, for the salary cap, so they can go ahead and go after some primetime free agents, you know, at next season. But as long as the black hole Kobe Bryant is there, I just don't see that. I just don't see that happening. You know, so we'll see. Like I say, you know, we'll look back on this and we'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. But there's better basketball around the NBA, and definitely need to focus on that right now. But one team that's not playing well that a lot of people thought initially would be the New York Knicks. I mean, they're probably even worse shape than the Lakers. What'd you say, brother?
Yeah, I think Derek Fisher needs to come back to the Lakers. Play.
I said play, huh? Wait, but what about Phil Jackson? What about the Zen Master?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about him? I mean, was he, you know, I mean, I thought he was the one to be the savior, you know, in Phil Jackson we trust. That's what he was saying in New York before the season started.
Yep. Hey, what do you think the Knicks would be if they would have gotten Steve Kerr? See what the Warriors are, number one.
Let's put it like this. I think they would be in much better. I think they're in much better shape. Man, it's something about Steve. It's something about Kerr, man. You know, I definitely had nothing against Mark Jackson. I thought he did definitely an above average job. But Steve Kerr is certainly an upgrade from that. You know, it seemed like he gets along with upper management as well as the players.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like Mark Jackson was able to really get the most out of the players. The upper management, I think he had the friction there. But it looks like Steve Kerr just settled right in. You know, they're playing great ball, you know, in Golden State. It's early, you know, before the injury really started to kick in, but so far, so good, you know. And your man Curry, I think it probably. Do you think their starting backcourt is going to get? You think both of them are going to be in the All-Star, both of the All-Star team?
Yes.
Think so?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's. I mean, but you look at the logjam of guards. You know, for the All-Star team, I mean, shoot, man, cats like maybe Tony Parker might not even make it. You know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think both of them will probably make it as well. You know, so. Yeah, so that's the way it looks right now. But yeah, so I guess we can go ahead and call it a night. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
What's your style? Curly, straight, wavy, or maybe you like it natural? Introducing Secret Styling Hair Care Products by Smith Products Company, LLC. A complete line of hair moisturizers, shampoos, conditioners, and an assortment of other hair styling aids formulated for today's fashion-conscious consumer. Enhance your style. Get the secret.